best architectural landmarks in the world have become such iconic symbols of their home countries, like, say, the Eiffel Tower, the Statue of Liberty, and the Great Wall of China.
You know what they say? Take only memories, leave only footprints.
But amongst all the amazing structures on the planet, these ones we're about to visit are equal parts mesmerizing and mind-boggling. Time to update your bucket list as we travel to the 10 best architectural wonders from around the world. What's up, Factnatics? This is Discovery Amuse, serving up your daily dose of the most outrageous, outlandish, and out-of-this-world fun facts. Our top pick has been under construction for more than a century, and it's still not finished. So stay tuned to find out where you can find it, if you know your geography, that is.
Can you name any country on this map?
Oh my gosh. Shouldn't I be taught this in school?
I would hope so.
Number 10. Burj Khalifa, Dubai. Standing proud at over 2,700 feet and 160 stories, the Burj Khalifa, or Burj Dubai, has scored several world records under its belt, namely the tallest freestanding structure in the world, the most number of stories, the highest occupied floor, the highest outdoor observation deck, the longest travel distance for an elevator, and the tallest service elevator in the world.
This is the highest you can be on a building.
This is the highest you can be on a building on this planet.
We are on top of the world.
We are on top of the world.
I'm looking at an aeroplane below us.
Much below us.
It's almost 3 times as tall as the Eiffel Tower and nearly 2 times as tall as the Empire State Building. Fun fact, if you lay down all the Burj Khalifa's pieces, they would stretch over a quarter of the way around the world. Its unique design allows its skyscraper to deflect strong winds to prevent it from toppling over.
When we designed the building, we're actually designing the wind and the way the wind behaves around the building, and it makes a tremendous difference. We would never have been able to go this tall if we had not done that.
Inside the Burj Dubai are a residential area with about 900 apartments, several office towers, and the first and only Armani Hotel. The UAE has always been known for its grand opulence, and the Burj Khalifa is certainly the perfect symbol of that. Keep watching until number 1 because it will seriously trigger your wanderlust. Number 9. St. Basil's Cathedral, Moscow. Situated in the famous Red Square in Moscow, Russia, the candy-colored swirling domes of St. Basil the Blessed's Cathedral will surely bring out the kid in anyone.
Look at all the candies! Whoa!
The cathedral comprises 8 small chapels gathered around one nave, or the central part of the church. It was constructed in the 16th century under the orders of Tsar Ivan IV, or Ivan the Terrible, and was built with brick and timber, while the domes were based on Kazan's Grand Mosque, which also became the reference for Orthodox churches at that time.
There was Basil the Blessed in Moscow, who dedicated his life to God and was gifted to heal people, to see the future, and so on. And Ivan the Terrible, Ivan IV, revered him greatly.
Legend has it that the cruel emperor had the architect blinded after the structure's completion so that he wouldn't be able to create anything more beautiful. But did you know that the cathedral wasn't originally this colorful? The ornate design was added a century after the cathedral was completed to reflect the vibrant description of heaven in the Book of Revelation. Number 8. The Forbidden City, Beijing. A walk around Beijing's Forbidden City is like being transported back in time when China was still ruled by ancient dynasties. Considered the biggest palace in the world, this complex served as the imperial palace during the Ming and the Qing dynasties, from the 14th to the early 20th century. It is the biggest wooden construction that survived in the entire history of China.
This central axis going to the north connects up with the pole star, with the North Star. The pole star is seen as important because it's the fixed star.
The beams and columns are the most critical parts of the pavilions. The walls are just supplementary, easily removed or replaced if they wanted to adjust space between rooms. The decor is mostly dragons and phoenixes, mainly because they believe that dragons would protect the emperor and phoenixes would protect the empresses. The exquisite decor is one thing, but the structural integrity of this place is on a whole other level. The early Chinese builders applied a very effective technique to make the Forbidden Palace resistant to natural disasters like earthquakes. They used interlocking flower-shaped brackets supported by joints.
If you look up here, in between the cross beams and the roof, underneath that mesh, there's these flower-shaped brackets.
These allow the beams to sway with the building, helping reduce the impact of a strong earthquake. Number 7. Fallingwater, Pennsylvania.
I'm here in Mill Run, Pennsylvania at the world-famous Frank Lloyd Wright House, Fallingwater. It's spectacular.
Fallingwater is a private house tucked away in the mountains of southwestern Pennsylvania. It got its name from its location, which is right on top of a freaking waterfall. But no balloons were used in the making of this residence. No less than renowned American architect Frank Lloyd Wright designed Fallingwater in 1935 as a vacation house for the Kaufman family, and it turned out to be one of Wright's most acclaimed works.
You know, Wright's philosophy of organic architecture, it's always looking to gain inspiration from the site itself and the creation of the architecture. And the architecture should always be responding back to nature.
The vacation house became a National Historic Landmark and a Commonwealth of Pennsylvania treasure. The American Institute of Architects also identified it as the best all-time work of American architecture.
Your designs are absolute madness.
In 1963, Edgar Kaufman Jr. donated Fallingwater to the Western Pennsylvania Conservancy. Since then, it has been converted into a museum and has welcomed millions of tourists into its doors. Fallingwater proves that construction works do not need to destroy the environment, and that great design can be rooted in nature, literally. Number 6. Angkor Wat, Cambodia. The Angkor Wat complex in Siem Reap, Cambodia, was built in the 12th century by King Suryavarman II as a temple dedicated to the Hindu god Vishnu. For centuries, it has been described as an architectural masterpiece and one of the finest monuments in the world. I mean, just look at all these breathtaking sunrise photos. Even Cambodia's flag proudly carries the image of this temple.
So one has to wonder why such a magnificent layout was chosen and what does it mean? And some have suggested that Angkor Wat may be a representation of Indra's heaven itself.
Designed to mimic the Hindu universe, with the 5 towers representing the peaks of Mount Meru, visiting the Angkor Wat is like playing the mobile game Temple Run. You can easily get lost in the massive stone complex with its corridors, towers, chambers, courtyards, and stairways. It is, after all, the largest religious monument on Earth, spanning over 400 acres, surrounded by a 3-mile-long moat.
The moat as the mean to decrease the pressure pushed out from the heavy structure. Without this moat, Angkor Wat will collapse.
But thinking about how the ancient people built this is really impressive. The sandstone blocks were quarried from a mountain that is 50 kilometers away from the site. Each block weighs up to 1,500 kilos, so imagine how they transported those without the help of modern tractors and trucks. Number 5. Hagia Sophia, Istanbul. Is it a church or is it a mosque?
I'm confused right now, G.
Identity crisis notwithstanding, the Hagia Sophia remains to be the most iconic religious monument of the Byzantine Empire.
Its innovative, ambitious design and its monumental scale speak to people across cultures, faiths, and religions.
Its history starts all the way back from 360 AD, when it was originally built by Emperor Constantine as a Greek Orthodox Christian basilica. Over time, it was converted into a mosque, a secular museum, and most recently, in July of 2020, back to a mosque again following President Erdogan's decree.
Hangi amaçla kullanılacağı konusu Türkiye'nin egemenlik haklarıyla ilgilidir.
The church was built with brick and ashlar, or finely dressed stone. The dome is one of the largest in the world, towering at a height of 190 feet above floor level. Hagia Sophia was considered the world's largest cathedral for almost 1,000 years before the Seville Cathedral in Spain took the title in 1520.
There's nothing practical about Hagia Sophia. It's all innovation. It's geometric flights of fancy beyond what a practical architect would ever attempt to build.
If you think the exteriors are strikingly exquisite, wait till you get a peek of the interior. The interior is illuminated by 40 arched windows built around the base of the dome. Golden mosaics and other decorations adorned its walls until they were plastered over. Luckily, when the cathedral became a museum in 1935, the white plaster was removed and the hidden mosaics saw the light again. And with the help of the World Monuments Fund, these classic decorations were restored and preserved. Number 4. Space Needle, Seattle. Oh yeah, Seattle just did that! In 2021, the city rang in the new year with a bang with the first ever virtual display projected from the iconic Space Needle, and the results were nothing short of breathtaking. Back in 1962, the city of Seattle organized a World's Fair that featured exhibits from companies worldwide. To add a unique flair to the event, they decided to build two futuristic projects, the monorail and the Space Needle. The Space Needle is an hourglass-shaped figure that has a UFO-inspired formation on top. It pierces through the Seattle skyline at 605 feet tall. During the World's Fair, it transported about 20,000 people per day via its high-speed elevator.
When you got up to the observation deck, you walked out, it was wide open. It was kind of like a crow's nest. There wasn't any glass, there was no enclosure.
In 2017, the Space Needle underwent a major renovation and enhanced the view from the observation deck, placing floor-to-ceiling glass panels and turning the deck into a rotating glass floor.
And when you're out on the observation deck and you watch them and they're backing up and leaning backwards and you see the fear in their face and they're holding on to their family members, I mean, it's fun. It's fun to watch. It's mission accomplished.
Number 3. Taj Mahal, India. Have you ever seen an edifice as immaculate and perfectly symmetrical as the Taj Mahal?
How'd you do this? I'll show you.
Everything about this marble mausoleum is like a mirrored image, from the walls to the rooms and even the gardens. It was designed to ensure that the structure focused on the central chamber, which houses the owner's tombs.
The Taj Mahal is the architectural embodiment of this life and of the next, according to Islamic belief. The complex is split between the tomb garden with its mausoleum and a worldly side meant for bazaars and markets.
The Taj Mahal was built between 1631 and 1648 by Shah Jahan as a resting place for his beloved wife, Mumtaz Mahal. This architectural marvel and ultimate showcase of undying love has been recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it is now listed as one of the new 7 wonders of the world. Gardens, pools, and fountains make it look like an eternal paradise. The burial chamber is decorated with semi-precious stones, and the walls are inscribed with calligraphy. The Taj Mahal also changes its color throughout the day. In the morning, the mausoleum has a rather pinkish hue. In the afternoon, the structure is primarily white, and when evening comes, the moon gives the Taj Mahal a stunning golden glow.
Wow! This place is amazing!
It really is.
Number 2. Hanging Temple, China. The Xuankangxi Hanging Temple in Shanxi is a monastery that seems to defy the laws of gravity.
Kiss me goodbye.
was built along the mountain cliff of Hengshan, and it's suspended 246 feet above the ground. But despite its precarious location, the temple has survived for more than 15 centuries. The whole structure is believed to be built by a single monk named Liao Ran during the Wei dynasty. Legend has it that since the area was flood-prone, the temple was constructed at a high altitude to seek Buddha's protection.
它这个地方经常发洪水的，但是人不留神就往上就给卷走了。
So, what's the secret to withstanding all the natural disasters and elements? The monastery's main supporting foundation are these wooden pillars, which are half inserted into the mountain rocks. The mountain also serves as its shield, protecting it from heavy rain, snow, and damaging sunlight. The Hanging Temple is also considered a religious heritage, and it caters to 3 religions: Buddhism, Confucianism, and Taoism. It is 105 feet long, has 40 halls, 2 pavilions, and several bridges connecting the temples. And judging by the look on this vlogger's face, this place is not for the faint of heart.
This is crazy. Yeah, I think this is the scariest part of this path.
Before we go to our number 1 pick, do us a solid and make sure to smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Don't forget to choose all so you won't miss out on any of our latest life-changing, boredom-busting content. And of course, be sure to turn on notifications in your app settings. Number 1. La Sagrada Familia, Barcelona.
Right now we are constructing the Jesus Christ Tower, the Virgin Mary Tower, and the Evangelist Towers at the same time. The Jesus Christ Tower will be the tallest construction in Barcelona, 172.5 meters.
Yep, after about a century and a half since it was first constructed, this masterpiece of a basilica in Barcelona, Spain is yet to be finished. But that doesn't stop the over 3 million tourists who visit this attraction each year.
I mean, you got the blues right now, oranges in the afternoon. It's just, it's so much to take in. Yeah. It makes you speechless. If you're not speechless, I don't think you're taking it in.
Designed by famous Spanish architect Antoni Gaudí, the La Sagrada Familia perfectly showcases Gaudi's revolutionary style and trademark elements, which are usually inspired by nature: spiral stairways, arches, honeycomb gates, vine-inspired decorations, and tree-inspired columns.
Trees are actually buildings, he said. It knows where to throw out a branch. And if you look at the Sagrada Familia, they look bizarre and eccentric, but the engineering beneath it is absolutely exceptional.
The giant structure has been under construction since 1882 and is only estimated to be completed by 2026. But why is it taking so long? The basilica's construction has been delayed by various factors, including political issues, protests, wars, and financial problems. After Gaudí's death, multiple architects supervised the building activities and based them on reconstructed versions of Gaudí's models because the originals were lost in a fire. And if you're wondering how the finished basilica will look, here's a sneak preview. So, which among these megastructures blew your mind? Sound off your thoughts in the comment section below. Take home any of our exclusive gear by browsing our merch shelf or clicking the link in the video description. And while you're at it, take our quiz to find out how you can earn extra cash online doing what you do best. Awesome, right? From impressive buildings, let's head on out and explore the 10 scariest cemeteries on Earth. That's coming right up. Till then, stay creative, Factanatics, and see you in the next video.